I've been keeping myself so busy, pushing out the misery.
Hey guys, welcome back to NsomniaksDream. Today's video is to show how I created my White Walker makeup from Game of Thrones if you're not familiar with the series. This was insanely fun to paint, so I hope you're down to see how it's brought to life, and let's just jump straight into it. First thing I had to do was block down my brows, so for this I used the glue stick method. Just ran a glue stick over my brows a few times and flattened it down with a comb and spatula. And then I just did this layer after layer for about 4 or 5 times, and you can use a little bit of water on your fingertip to help blend it out even further to make it fully smooth. And then while I was just waiting for those last layers to dry, I decided to sketch out where I was going to be making the biggest contours for the shape of my White Walker. For this, I just took a white pencil, and as you can see, just started creating numerous lines in areas where I knew I would be adding more definition and the kind of wrinkling, withered skin they all tend to have. The main features here were to ensure that the cheekbones were super sharp and almost skeletal-like, and then ensure that the brow shape is pretty deep and fearsome so that it gives a little bit more of the creepy aspect of the White Walkers. Then once the glue on the brows was fully dry, I just went over it with a few different colors of corrector just to make sure I could counteract my hair colors, and then a little bit of concealer, and made sure to powder it really heavily by packing on the color with the sponge to ensure that it will not move. After all of that was done, I really wanted to lay down the base for the skin tone for the entire look, and for this I went in with a water-activated paint from Mehron, the White Paradise paint, as well as their light blue paint. And first I applied the white to all the areas that would technically be the high points or the areas I would want to stand out the most in this design. And I just applied it to all of those areas, making sure to leave enough room for the blue to go in, but just start thinking of the blue as kind of a shadow color at this moment, so the white needs to go for all the areas that you want to sit forward. And then when you move into the blue, it kind of becomes a paint by numbers game, and you just fill in all of the areas that still have a skin tone. I also use this time to kind of add more texture by making kind of brush strokes with the flat edge of the brush. This just works because you know that the White Walker skin is going to have a ton of like the wrinkling, withered effect that they have. So if you can start basing it out at this layer, it makes the next steps a lot easier. And then for basing out the neck and chest, it was the exact same steps as the face, starting with the white for all of the high points and using the blue to fill in. I was referencing a White Walker figure for this because a lot of their chest designs are all very different, so I really like the one that this had, but you obviously could go ham and do whatever you're feeling. I just wanted to do these areas because it would get a lot of detail later on. The next step for me was to start detailing and defining all of the shadow shaded areas around the face, and for this I was using the Sugarpill shadow called the Inventor. It's basically just a gray. And I wanted to start with the gray because I like starting with a slightly softer shadow color and then building up to the deepest black that we can get later. For most of this process, I was just using the same brush. This is a NYX 34 brush. It's basically just a pointed pencil brush, so anything similar will work just as well. For the brow area, because we do not have a prosthetic, we're trying to cheat the eye to make it look like the brow is far more heavy set and pushed down over our own eye shape. So for that, I had moved the white further down into my actual eye area, and now I'm making sure to shade right underneath that so it looks like my actual brow bone is protruding further than it really is. A lot of this process is really just building up shadow and dimensions, so take your time, blend it out, and feather it in all the areas where you want it to be really soft. And then areas where you want to start adding the line work. This is a really good base before we go in with the black aqua color, which will be very, very strong. This will make sure that it has kind of a softer background to it so that it looks a little bit more organic on the skin. The lines and shapes on each White Walker are different, so you can kind of have a little bit of freedom in where you place everything. But I highly recommend just looking up different reference photos of the actual actors and makeup from the show. Other than that, just keep painting until you get somewhere that you like. For the eyes, if you've seen my videos before, you know one of my favorite techniques is to use a black gel liner as a base and feather it out on the edges, and then to go over it with a matte black shadow to get the deepest black around the eye area that I can get. You want to do this all along the top and the brow shape that you've created, as well as pull it underneath the eye and line both your bottom and upper waterline, just to make sure that the eye area is as deep black as possible. And then you can see here I was also adding a blue just to help add more depth to the area. This was an A2 pigment called Strange, and it's just a really nice navy blue that added a lot more dimension. And then onto the incredibly fun part of taking a water-activated black paint on a very fine detail brush. I tend to buy nail art brushes online since they are a lot more fine than most makeup brushes are. And for this, I just started going over all the areas where I wanted to enhance a lot of the line work I'd already laid out, as well as add in extra detailing to make sure that it filled in any areas I may have left alone before now. With the line work complete for now, I then went and took a matte black shadow, the same one I was originally using around the eyes, and I started applying this to all of the areas where I needed the shadows to be their deepest. So any areas that you want to look the most recessed, that you want to give more definition, this is where you need to apply the black. So I did it in areas like the notches I had drawn in, underneath the cheekbones, around the eye and brow shape, as well as added it to certain lines around the face, so it just helped make some areas look more recessed than others. And of course, along the side of the face, I made sure to add a lot of black. This just helps make the sides look a lot darker, but also make the cheekbones pop out a lot more on top, since the contrast helps define them better. And then as for with a lot of my looks, the same steps are going to be repeated for the neck and chest. Went in originally with the gray shadow and started defining all of the areas that I wanted to be really recessed. This like weird sunken in collarbone shape I was trying to build up. And then followed all of that with more line work, more shading, just to bring the whole area to life and add as much depth and definition as possible. At the very edges there, I did make sure to make those divots a little bit bigger so they can kind of fade off the collarbone a bit. And then I moved on to lining. And one thing to try and remember when going around these little extra bone pieces that I have protruding, you want to try and curve the line work a bit to help encourage the idea that those bones actually do sit up and then cut back into the skin. So that little bump that I was trying to build up becomes really important for this illusion to work. And then for this area, when you get to the black shadow, you want to try and remember that the highest point right now on the design is that weird C-shaped collarbone thing. But the main reason that's important is that you want to make sure that the deepest, darkest blacks are right at the very edge of it where you can see, and then I'm blending downwards and softening it as it goes out. And then when we move up over the top of it, it's going to be the reverse. It's going to be the deepest and darkest black at the very base, and then it's going to soften as it goes up the neck. And then adding just a little bit of extra shadow on the very edges of these bumps will again just help them look like they're popped up a little bit. And then as we're nearing the end of the makeup, it is time to finally fill in the lips. I tend to leave my mouth as uncovered as I can for most of a makeup look, especially when it's a long one, so I can actually eat and drink the entire time. But to finish the one up, it's just putting the white and blue colors over top of it, kind of making it look a little messy, and then just pull all of those lines that we had originally put in down onto the lips and connect it with the black aqua color to make it as seamless as possible. And then, not a fully necessary step, but I thought it helped a little bit, I did just take a white aqua color and add highlights to certain areas, just to make certain lines stand out, certain areas pop up a bit more, but you don't have to add this everywhere, just in a few sections, really helps give a little bit more visual interest.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's go now.
And then the finishing details are, of course, the wig and contacts. For the wig, I just took one of my old white ones that has seen better days anyways, and threw it on, already messy, and threw in a little bit of gray hairspray as well, just to kind of make it look a little bit more messy and not so perfect, since the pure white looked a little odd with all of this detailed paints. And then the contacts I threw in are from Camel Eyes. They're called Ice Walker, fittingly enough. And that was it. That was the complete paint of my White Walker. I seriously, seriously hope you guys enjoy this one. This is one of my more favorite paints to date for sure. And quite an improvement from the last time I did a White Walker on my channel, which was quite a few years ago. And I think I've gotten better. I don't know, you be the judge. As always, I cannot thank you guys enough for watching, subscribing, commenting, all of that good jazz. Thank you so, so much. I, of course, will see you guys next video. And who else is hype for the new Game of Thrones season? You guys gotta let me know. Don't worry if you don't watch it, it's fine. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!